What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trenches Politics TV, where you know you definitely politicking from them trenches. First, before we get started, make sure y'all take a second, hit that like button, share the video out, subscribe to the channel, set y'all notification, and drop a comment to the situation right here. Y'all know what it is. We're doing a reaction to the legendary DC drug kingpin, Rayful Edmond, has been released from prison, and he says he's back better than ever, y'all. So I want to know what y'all think about that. Let's see what it is.
I'm back better than ever.
Hell yeah.
I'm back better than ever. I'm back better than ever.
Hell yeah.
I'm back better than ever. I'm back.
So he said he's back. He's better than ever too. Let's read what it says. The notorious figure once known as the King of Crack in Washington, D.C. has been released from prison. A video circulating on social media shows Edmond declaring back better than ever, marking a new chapter for the man who once led one of the largest drug operations in U.S. history during the 1980s. If a lot of y'all don't know who Rayful Edmond is a drug kingpin during the 1980s. Edmond was a key player in the crack cocaine epidemic that swept through the nation's capital, transforming it into what was infamously dubbed the murder capital of the United States. His operation in partnership with the Medellin cartel through the Trujillo Blanco brothers. To read the rest, logging the Baller Alert. Shout out Baller Alert for bringing this content. But I noticed something, right? For him to be a drug kingpin, I started scrolling through the comments and I was like, for him to be a drug kingpin, why is people in the comments talking about why are the people in the comments talking about he better not come? I don't know his story, but he better not come here thinking times are the same. And then the reply to that is read his story. So you know how to go back and read the story, and so I'm gonna bring it to y'all with the story talking about. All right, so bet. So a lot of y'all that don't know who Rayful Edmond is, right? Let me read the story to y'all real quick. Rayful Edmond III, the long ago drug kingpin whose army of dealers and mounted of profits made him a symbol of the district murderous crack cocaine epidemic in the 1980s, has been moved from a federal penitentiary to community confinement and is set to be released late next year. The U.S. Bureau of Prisons said Thursday. Edmond, 59, has been behind bars since his arrest in April 1989. Initially sentenced to life in prison with no eligibility for parole. He became a government informant during his decades of incarceration, providing an unparalleled magnitude of corporation. A judge wrote in 2021 and significantly reducing his sentence. So he was a big-time drug dealer that became a government informant to get out of prison. Y'all see, they said they gave him life in prison, but he ended up probably only doing like 25 to 30 years of that life sentence that he was supposed to do without parole. You feel what I'm saying? So he had to be cooperating, and they said he cooperated and gave up a lot of people to get out. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed something. Matter of fact, I'll bring that back later. Let me see. Read this too. Now the city's king of cocaine, as he was dubbed, appears to be inching closer to freedom, with a projected release date of November 8th, 2025. The Bureau of Prisons said Tiffany Collins, Edmond lawyer, declined to answer questions about the development, but said she was elated, adding that Edmond had undoubtedly paid his debt. We worked diligently to get his sentences reduced in DC and PA. I believe his release was overdue. Collins said in a text message, Rayful is a wonderful person, and I have no doubt he will make tremendous contributions to our community. He's a voice that youth needs to hear. They saying he even though he was a big time drug dealer, they feel like he made his contribution to the community and he should be set out in the community because he's a voice that the youth needs to hear, because he has experience in this things that youth is chasing. You can tell some people like, nah, that ain't the way to go, or that is the way to go. But you know what I want to know? Like I heard on another platform, why? Shout out my dog Smoke News, but why are they not embracing Rayful Edmond? I mean, why are they not doing Rayful Edmond the same way that they did Alpo. I keep thinking of his name is Rico on Paid in Full, but Alpo. Why they not embracing Rayful Edmond as Alpo? They did Alpo. You seen Alpo was running around the street still being a snitch, even though he did it with his protective program. And like he said, why did he have to change his name? But Rayful Edmond didn't have to change his name. He just come on talking about he back. I see what he said. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into news clips what they talking about real quick. Hit the like button, share the video, support a real content creator. Let's see me going to the top. Stop hating. If y'all really support the channel, rise it to the top. Let's go.
1980s. But big news today, startling news for some. The notorious one-time cocaine kingpin of D.C., Rayful Edmond, has been released from a federal prison. Edmond served more than 3 decades of a life sentence, his crimes helping to inspire our City Under Siege coverage in the 1980s.
So he served more than 3 decades, my fault, y'all.
But Edmond has also worked as a government informant, leading in part to his early release. Fox 5's Bob Barnard is live in Northeast DC with all the details. Bob?
Hey there, Shamari. Rayful Edmond's base of operations was in this Northeast D.C. neighborhood around 4th and M Street. The Federal Bureau of Prisons today says that Rayful Edmond was released from custody yesterday and transferred to a halfway house. They're not saying where, but the Bureau's Nashville, Tennessee office is now in charge of his case. You're about to hear from a longtime D.C. activist who says he's known Rayful Edmonds for years, and he spoke to him yesterday.
He told me he's going to a halfway house. You know, he didn't say where, but he said he'd get back with me.
I'm back better than ever.
This is video that's been circulating on social media today, purported to be the now 59-year-old Rayful Edmond in an airport, just having been released from prison.
When I spoke to him, he was in the airport, you know, going get ready to get on another plane.
We spoke to Tyrone Parker today. He's a founding member of a DC-based organization called Alliance of Concerned Men and has known Rayful Edmond for years, since he became a federal prisoner.
He's doing well. He's happy, as you can almost imagine. It's a miracle that he's home.
Rayful Edmond was arrested at age 24, sentenced in federal court in 1990 to life in prison for basically introducing crack cocaine to D.C., helping the city earn the title the murder capital of the U.S. in the 1980s, convicted of running a criminal enterprise of about 150 people, raking in $300 million a year, responsible for the murders of at least 30 people. Speaking to Fox 5 in prison shortly after his conviction.
But you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to push the whole blame on Rayful Edmond, y'all, because one thing we all know, right? Rayful Edmond is not the person that created the crack cocaine, allegedly, right? We know this had to be brought to him for him to distribute in his own community, right? If you do some more research, which I'll probably reread over this article, right? It'll probably say it somewhere or another in there, but if you do the research, it'll show you that Rayful Edmond was one of the people that was given the crack cocaine by the government, and I think he started snitching on the government or something like that. Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I need Washington to tap in. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. You feel me saying? We definitely doing the reaction to Rayful Edmond. You feel me? Being released. Y'all know this was like one of y'all top drug kingpins out there, especially if it wasn't for him, who would it be? You feel what I'm saying? Especially in the Washington DC area, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't feel like he should take the full blame of everything. He did his time, he did what he's supposed to do. But the question I'm trying to figure out is, y'all gonna embrace him like that, Washington? You feel what I'm saying? What y'all gonna do? You feel me? He did show y'all the game. He pretty much handed y'all the game. Only time he turned around was when the game got out of control. and I think his parents, or somebody was, I think his family, matter of fact, not his parents, his family and his parents was arrested. So he's put in a compromised situation where he had to choose whether or not to, I guess, cooperate with the government or keep his parents in there. Y'all let me know what y'all do in that situation. Would y'all let your mom rot, your parents, whoever raised y'all, whatever y'all rot, or would y'all cooperate with the government to help them out so that they can get better? You feel what I'm saying? I don't know how this whole situation played out, but I do know that he's a KingPin. You feel me? And we're gonna read more into it.
When I've been reading the newspaper, seeing the news, Washington, D.C. is worse than it was when we was out on the street, so how could it be us?
But Edmond received another 30-year sentence for dealing massive amounts of drugs from his Pennsylvania prison cell.
God damn. So he had got 25 years. I mean, he had got already locked up for life. And then he received another 30 years while he was in jail. Shit crazy.
Now, many years later, his petition to be released from prison early has been granted. Jason Downs has been Edmond's attorney for the past 7 years.
He feels that he has served, and we believe that Mr. Edmond has served and paid his debt to society.
Let's give the man a chance. Yeah, he did some terrible things occur that he was a part of. But we're talking about 33 years ago.
Mr. Parker says Edmond seems remorseful and told him he wants to now give back to the community.
Bob, I'm looking to take help from anybody that I would think that could help to stop the killing. I cannot afford to have selective morality. He's done his 33 years, and he deserves a second chance. And if he can help to save one person, that's good enough for me.
And that makes a lot of sense, y'all. What do y'all think? Y'all feel like that's a good point that he's making? This is one of his friends is saying. He's saying he feel like just get a man a chance. And if Rayful Edmond has a lot of power in the youth and the popularity of the Washington streets to be able to change the difference, to be able to make an impact in the streets. Y'all feel like he still got that power, and even though it's been over 33 years ago, y'all see the man was still controlling the drugs from inside the jail cell. But I also feel where people come from, they can't trust him. You know what I'm saying? Because he already proved himself. You know what I'm saying? He proved what he was going to do in the jail. You feel what I'm saying? Years later, whatever. You know what I'm saying, but from this point of view, from what he's saying give him a chance because he got a powerful impact on the youth, and he'll be able to stir their minds right. I don't feel like nobody has a powerful has an impact on anybody in the youth. I feel like everybody makes their own decisions based upon what they want to do. But what do y'all think? Y'all getting them comment vibes. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. So I'll be making part 2 to this too after this.
Now, there are many other people who are not happy with today's development. Some of them, frankly, didn't want to go on camera and talk to us. Rayful Edmond was, for a long time, a government informant, and his information helped to put other drug dealers here in D.C. behind bars. And yet, guys, when he left prison, he did not do so under an assumed name or in the witness protection program.
So that might be what he's doing right now, because you heard his friend say he took another airplane to here and there. He talked to me at the airport, but he also said he was in a halfway house. How could you be in a halfway house and taking all these airplanes back and forth across the country? He probably needed to. It seemed like he needed to do some more work for the government. It seemed like he needed to do some more work for the government before he would fully be able to be released. Because how he gonna be released after all this time in a halfway house? So they might as well let the man go. He's a high profile KingPin, ex-KingPin, Washington D.C. That's the United States capital, right? So why is he being released with all this attention, not being released under the radar? Especially if he just cooperated to put a bunch of drug dealers away and all this and that. It seemed like some type of catch to it. Y'all let me know what y'all think though.
So around the country, other people went to like their state jail, their county jail. You go to the feds here in Washington.
attorneys for about 5 years have been petitioning the government to release him for good behavior, and that's what's happened, guys.
Unbelievable story. Bob Barnard for us with that recap. Thanks.
So what they say, they had the government trying to write letters to release him for 5 years.
Bob. Yeah, he was in Lewisburg, the federal penitentiary, not far from here. In 2021, he came back seeking this release, and it seems like now in 2024, it has happened.
Yeah, well, you know, when you have like a drug conviction.
So he went Lewisburg, then came back and was seeking this release. He finally got a grant in 2024. That's what seemed like.
In Washington D.C. because it's a federal. They always go to the federal.
But what was the hold up so long if he was helping y'all crack down so many drug dealers and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody who gets locked up. So around the country, other people went to like their state jail, their county jail. You go to the feds here in Washington D.C. But for this whole thing to watch it play out, for me, I was I was just coming out of high school, my freshman year in college, when he got locked up. And the crack epidemic is like in full swing. The years after that is when we saw the escalation of the crime, because there wasn't, I hate to put it this way, a centralized person,
someone on the streets who was still managing
to make it happen. Yeah. So then you saw the crime rates. We start, as we said, it was a wake or a funeral every week, and it brings, to see him walk out brings up a whole lot of emotion for the entire region and for a lot of people. And it's not, everybody's not super excited to see him return, because they want to know, well, what are you going to bring to us at this point? Have you learned anything in Lewisburg? And can you please help us with these young people on the street? So
we'll wait and see. We don't even know if he's coming back to DC. I think now
he's coming back to DC.
We'll wait and see where exactly he comes back and what he does with the community, which I think, to your point, he's gotten a second chance. He should
come to Covenant House and work with me.
There you go. All right, but right now let's kick it off with the big story of the day.
That would be probably a good proposition for him to do, is work on a TV station or be a host or something like that. But how can y'all expect this man to have so much responsibility? He's been away for 30 something years. I understand he had an impact on the community or whatever, but don't y'all feel like that's out of his hand by now? Yeah, let's read the rest of what's going on. In a statement, the Bureau said Edmond was transferred Wednesday to the community confinement under the supervision of the agency's Nashville Residential Reentry Management Office. The Nashville office is responsible for providing oversight to halfway houses in Kentucky and Tennessee, according to its website. The Bureau declined to say where Edmond is being confined. It's crazy that they would decline to say where Edmond is being confined, but they was eager to release that he was out or being transferred. Like, what was the point of even doing this? Just to make news or something? Community confinement means the individual is either in home confinement or a residential reentry center, meaning a halfway house. The statement said, for privacy, safety, and security reasons, we do not specify an individual specific location while in community confinement. Edmond, who was convicted of federal drug trafficking charges in D.C. and sentenced in 1990, oversaw a sprawling operation that smuggled as much as 1,700 pounds of cocaine to the city each month. In the later part of the 1980s, authorities said they estimated that Edmond ranked in about $2 million per week in those years. So then he ranked in about $2 million per week. I heard it was something like 10. See, it might be wrong though. The huge profits available in the crack trade spawned open air dealing in many areas of the district. Black then with competing sweet crews guarding their turf and encroaching on others' territories. The nightly gunfire as DC's annual homicide toll climbed sharply in the late 1980s and early 1990s, peaking at nearly 500. The city acquired the nickname America Murder Capital. The epidemic of crack dealing and bloodshed ravaged communities all over the country. Edmond himself was never found guilty of any violent crimes. During his years of imprisonment, authorities said Edmond cooperated extensively in investigations of drug and homicide cases in the district and elsewhere In return for his help, federal prosecutors in D.C. asked the judge in 2019 to modify Edmond's sentence of life without parole, allow him to someday go free. "I am very remorseful," Edmond said at the 2019 court hearing on the governor's motion. It was the first time he had apologized to D.C. residents for the wave of addiction and violence he helped bring to their city. "I'm sorry for everybody hurt, for everybody disappointed," he said. "If I ever get the opportunity, I will do my best and whatever it takes to make up for all of my crimes." Prosecutors sought an justice sentence of 40 years, but U.S. District Judge Edmond G. Sullivan went further in his 2021 ruling, reducing Edmond's sentence to 20 years. While Edmond's involvement in the criminal enterprise damaged his community deeply and resulted in the destruction of the lives of many individuals, Sullivan wrote the unparalleled magnitude of his cooperation warranted a significant reward. At that point, Edmond already had been behind bars for nearly 32 years, far more time than his new 20-year sentence. So he'd been behind bars for about 32 years, and he was still sentenced 20 more years. So I see why he was put into a position where he was like, you know what I mean? I don't know what else to do. And then they also expect him to come out here and help the youth. How are you supposed to help this youth right here? This shit is way. And then y'all putting dirt on his name. Where are you supposed to? This shit crazy, man. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But he had another sentence waiting to be served: 30 years in federal prison for dealing drugs in the U.S. penitentiary in Lewisburg, PA. While he was an inmate there, Edmond's lawyer asked the federal judge in Pennsylvania to reduce that pending 30 years term so it would be covered by extra time that Edmond had served on his modified sentence in D.C. case. A spokeswoman for the U.S. Attorney Office in Harrisburg, PA on Thursday declined to comment on Edmond referring a question to the Bureau of Prison in his statements. The Bureau said that Edmond's effort to have his sentence reduced in Pennsylvania was successful and that his remaining period of incarceration can be measured in double-digit months. He has now served over 35 years in federal custody, the statement noted. It's crazy. Yeah, y'all get in that comment box. Let me know what y'all think about it. Do y'all feel like Rayful Edmond's going to be able to have an impact on today's youth, especially the kind that he left was old as hell? So it's like, how is he supposed to have an impact? But then again, y'all saying he was controlling shit from inside the jail. Then again, do y'all feel like this man did enough already put himself out there where he's looking like a rat? Is a rat, whatever he is, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he did before he did rat. This man is old, washed up, dry as hell. Like, he might have family and shit members in the street, but I don't think nobody fuck with him, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. But and then again, do y'all feel like he should just be let go and just be able to enjoy the rest of his life? Or do y'all feel like if he's let go fully free, he's going to dibble and dabble in something again? Y'all let me know what y'all think. But make sure y'all support the channel. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all set y'all notifications. Make sure y'all keep rocking with Trenches Politics TV, the only politics from the trench. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Salute. Let's get it. Part 2.